Well, oh, my little buddy's going to show up again. Hold on, here we go. Ah. He just jumped right up there today. He's got all kinds of energy today. Yeah, I'm working on this Motorola 56B1. It's actually a portable radio. It's actually AC/DC. And so last night I'm unsoldering the big electrolytic capacitor in there, and after I got it out, I'm trying to figure out, so Gregg's Gregg's Vintage Workshop, he had taken the cardboard tube off of the electrolytic. So I sent him a message, and so he sent me one back. He said, oh yeah, he said, that's got some tar or something like that in the very bottom of it. He said, just heat the bottom of it, you know, heat gun, hot dryer, whatever you got, or, you know, hair dryer, whatever. So sure enough, I did that last night, and this morning actually is when I did it. This sucker popped right off, just like he said it would. You know, it just slides right in there. I mean, you know, it's kind of a stiff fit, and then what they did is they stuck a little bit of tar. Well, it just, after I heated it, it just crumbled and fell out. It's so old. But one thing I wanted to show you or tell you about on this is the way they have this labeled on the cardboard itself. And let's get closer, and hopefully that will pick it up. If you notice, there's like a minus on one, and a triangle, and a square. Well, that's how you find out which is which as far as the microfarads of each part of this electrolytic cap are. And what it does is it corresponds to what's on the bottom of this. There's actually a triangle and a square and a minus at the top. So it all corresponds, so that you know the square is an 80 microfarad capacitor. The triangle is a 60 microfarad capacitor, and the minus is a 400 microfarad capacitor. And actually, it's, you know, to the negative side. Actually, the others are positive on the positive side. So anyhow, you go ahead and you take a look at that, and he says, oh, well, that's how you figure it out. So so what I still have to do on this is I'm going to cut the metal part off here at the bottom and cut that all the way around. Probably use a hacksaw or something, I don't know. I'll figure that one out. And then I'll go ahead, and when I put it in, I'll go ahead and use these same pins. I'll wire those back into the circuit board, and I'll just put the new capacitors in here on these. So, got that. And then I'd also like to thank Jack, Vintage Electronics Geek. I never had a schematic I could read, put it that way. I had one, but there was no way I could see what it was. Well, Jack went ahead, he sent me an attachment today. Sure enough, there's a schematic, and it's the right one. I double checked on the tubes, and it's, yeah, that's what I'm looking for. And it had the same lineup, because the tubes on the circuit board are all lined up. Whereas on the 57, one of the tubes is like offset off to one side. I know on Gregg's that's what it was. So this is exactly the right one. So thank Jack for that. So we're getting all kinds of help on this thing, which is good, because I have no idea what's going on with this thing. And it did leave one heck of a hole in the circuit board when I pulled this out. And the other thing Gregg said was, well, you gotta be careful of that, because that's dual-sided. It's got two sides on it, and then you figure, well, you could mess up the the circuit board, you can mess up the traces on it. Well, let's see if I can get this close enough. I don't know. You guys can see this. And let's see. I'm going to drop this down some more too. Get closer. Closer. Closer still. Alright, I think that was good. Yeah. So, there's what's left. Right there. The big hole. Actually, it's a bunch of little holes. So, yeah, there's a trace on the top and there's one on the bottom of the board. So that's what you have to watch for. As I took this off, I did notice, if you look at the bottom, there's like a little pieces of the this circuit board there, the foil, or the copper, whatever you want to call it. There's just little tiny pieces left of it. I mean, it's still going to be okay when I put it back in there. It's just like, yeah, you know, a blob of solder across it will probably work. It's not going to hurt it none. Besides, I'm going to put it back in the same orientation it was in before. It's just going to be minus the rest of this cap. It'll just be new capacitors inside of it. So, yeah, that's what we're going to do with that. So, so that's going to work out, I'm pretty sure. Hopefully I won't have all that major hum I was having before. And then these other smaller caps are no big deal. I just got to unsolder those. And I'm using my, back this thing up. Whoop. That's my desoldering iron with its little solder sucker basically attached to it. So, guys, the only thing you got to watch with this thing is on a circuit board, you can't get it, you got to get it just hot enough to melt the solder, but not hot enough to melt through the board. So you got to really watch that. But I was able to get it out okay. So that, and then, oh yeah, I got to show you what else I'm doing here today. I'll be right back. This is also what I've been doing today. I've had to move everything around in this place. I had to move the table, this table, out away from the wall. There was one little problem. When it was next to this other table, there was no way I could open the drawer. I mean, this one's no problem. This one here, it was blocked by the table. There's no way I could open it. So I figured, well, the only way to do that would be to go ahead, move the other table, move this out, move the other table over, and then what I had to do, I had to move my magnifier lamp over there. I had to move that back on this other table. Luckily they were the same kind of tables that had a hole underneath there. I just made sure the hole was clear. And so I got my magnifying light back there now. So it was over here on this other table, but I figured, well, if I do it that way, then it would definitely be over top the work over here on that bench, and then I could swing it around if I have to anywhere else. So it actually does work pretty well. And then I just cleaned up this other area over here so that I actually do have, I got a lot more room than I had before. So I think that's going to work out okay. And I got a dog that's making noise. What? What are you talking about? What? You, shut up. You hear me? Why can't you be more like Duke? Duke doesn't make a sound. Huh? Ah, ooh, ah. All right. You're not going to wake Dookie up. Dookie needs his beauty sleep. Come on, he's almost 14 years old. He's almost twice as old as you are. Chucklehead. Yeah, you be a good boy. Well, anyhow, that's going to be it for today. Noisy dog. And a very quiet cat in the background. So, yeah, all right. You get away now. We'll go get the squirrel. Okay. Say bye.